Champions again, Liverpool.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully all of you are having a fantastic day wherever you are around the world, and welcome to the match preview show of Liverpool versus Arsenal. Yes, I've said that already once this week. We're playing Arsenal twice in 1 week, and you're not mistaken. This is very, very true. We are facing Arsenal again at Anfield, but now it is in the Capital One Cup or the League Cup. It's changed names, I think 3 or 4 times over the last couple of years anyway, but the League Cup anyway, in that aspect of things. Again, it is at Anfield as well, tomorrow evening as well, for Liverpool versus Arsenal. But as you can see, I am joined by a very, very special guest, and that is Glenn from Everything Liverpool. How are you doing, my friend?
Definitely everything Arsenal, not everything Liverpool. So I'm good. Thanks for having me. Yeah, it's crazy. We've played 4 times. This is the 4th time in the last 2 months. That's a lot of games against you guys. I think from the last 1 year, it's 6 times. So, and how many of those we've won? I don't know. So I'm not looking forward to this one.
Yeah,
thanks for having me, though.
Absolute pleasure, mate. And of course, I was over on Glenn's channel a couple of days ago. We previewed the Premier League match anyway. So if you guys want to go and check out Glenn's channel, then please go in the video description down below. All his links are there. Please go and follow him on Twitter as well, because he's very generous inviting me onto his channel, and now I thought I would return the favor for this game. But guys, let me know any questions you have for either one of us. Let me know your thoughts, especially from the weekend as well, playing Arsenal. Any questions you have for this game as well, and we will answer them in the comment section anyway. But let me say a few highs to everyone. Data is in. How are you, Data? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Liz says, hiya lads, how are you, Liz? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. Data saying hi to Liz, and Seamus was saying good evening to you, Seamus. But Glenn, we've said that Liverpool versus Arsenal, it's been a known fixture over the last couple of months. It's been just Liverpool Arsenal, like you said, 4 times in 2 months. That's crazy. We wouldn't say that in any other season. But how are you feeling coming away from the weekend and after the performance and the loss against us at Anfield on Monday? Sorry.
For that game, I was a bit happy. Of course, the result was the same as the other years, but I was a bit happy this time we put in a performance. So for this game on Thursday, I'm looking at it like, hey, I don't want to lose 2 games in a week. I don't want to lose 2 games in 4 days. Let's go there. Let's try and win this time. Let's a different approach. As we saw the other day, you had 70% possession, 75% possession. This time round, second team versus second team. Let's go. Let's try and get a win. A win against Liverpool at Anfield, a place you haven't lost in the league since 2017 or something. It's a chance to get a feather under our cap and head into the other Premier League games coming on with some confidence. So for me, I'm looking at it like a chance to revenge on you guys. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And of course, I think I said this on your match preview show. I expected what Arsenal did in that aspect of things, in trying to get us on the counter attack, trying to defend quite deep, and then break out like you did in the Community Shield aspect of things. To be fair, I got the score prediction right. I got 3-1. I think I said it on your channel. But was you surprised how predictable Arsenal was in that aspect of things? And how we all said it, Arsenal would come on the counter attack and not really force themselves up the pitch. Were you surprised how natural that was and how we all predicted it?
The thing is, the last 10 years, going to United, going to Liverpool, going to Chelsea, we've always gone into those matches expecting to lose. That is one thing I want us to change with Arteta. We always go into those games knowing, you know what, you haven't won at Old Trafford for 14 years, we'll lose again. Liverpool haven't lost in 3 years, we'll lose again. That approach, yes, that approach is wrong. But of course, right now, Arteta knows he doesn't have the players. So he's just looking at it like, you know what, let's just try and take this as it comes. As I wait for my squad, as I wait to buy my own players. So for me, I was quite disappointed, in terms of the approach and being predictable. But at least we did create some chances. Over the other years, like I remember in the 2018 one that you talked about, the one who scored first and then he scored 5 goals, so Firmino the hat-trick. At least this time round, we were still in the game around the 87th minute. So the approach, I can't blame him, the back five and stuff, because we don't have the players to compete against the cities, and even United away, we can't even compete with them. So for me, I was okay. At least don't get hammered. Don't concede 6 or 7 goals at Anfield. So 3-1 is acceptable for us for now. So I wasn't surprised with the approach, but I was kind of disappointed because especially there was a time like I looked at you guys. You play at such a high line. And with Aubameyang and the likes of Willian and Pepe, you can like get in behind. So I was disappointed you didn't try that many times.
Yeah, well, you speak of the high line for Liverpool, and to be fair to you, you got through it, a couple of times, especially for your first goal, even though it was, an Andy Robertson mistake, but it was still your high, Liverpool's high press, and then you getting over the top ball, getting through, and one player in particular I want to ask you about, and that was Lacazette. Of course, scoring the first goal for you guys, and like I did say, creating chances, and Lacazette having probably the biggest chance of the game that wasn't a goal. Twice. I know once was offside, but the other time it wasn't an offside. Do you feel like the Arteta should now keep with Lacazette in that role, or do you think if Aubameyang was in that position, we'd be talking about a different scoreline right now?
Yeah, by the way, I don't care if it is offside or not. You're supposed to take your chance. Then it goes to VR, take your chance. So it was kind of casual. And for the second one, you could see that the first one was in his head. So he was trying something and he was caught up like in 3-4 minds at the same time. For Aubameyang did an interview after he signed his contract that week. And he was asked about playing on the left or playing in the middle. And he said right now he's already adapted to the left and he wants to play on the left. Like he's comfortable there. He said in that position, it puts him away from the likes of Van Dijk, the dunks of this world, the tall and big defenders. So he prefers coming from the left because according to what he said, the right backs are always up front. So it gives him a chance to counter attack. So for me, yes, if it was Aubameyang in that position, he would have scored both of them. But I think Lacazette gives us more in terms of hold-up play. Aubameyang doesn't give you that in terms of hold-up play. There was a time I was actually thinking about having Lacazette as our number 10 because Aubameyang, I really want him to play up front because I feel like if you can break teams like Liverpool and you play like a high line, we can break you guys. So if you have Aubameyang on one side or in the middle and Willian on one side, Pepe on one side, you could have a lot of pace. So for me, I'm quite okay with how it is right now. Lacazette, of course, he missed those chances, but I always say, if you check out the last 5 years in terms of top scorers all over Europe, you'll see the likes of Lewandowski, Suarez, Aguero, Salah these days. You'll see Aubameyang and Lacazette in that list, in the top 10 most goals in the last 5 years strikers in Europe, then that list. So it doesn't make him a bad striker, but you expect him to take those chances. So for me, I'll stick with how it is right now, Aubameyang on the left.
Yeah, and I think that was realistically the debate, I think, after the game. I know a couple of fans, Arsenal in particular anyway, questioning, the referee's performance and things like I said, not taking the fact that, Liverpool outplayed Arsenal. I'm not trying to be biased here at all, but, in my personal opinion, I thought we outplayed it at times. Yes, you did have chances like we have spoken about, playing over the top, but I feel like even when you went 1-0 up, I always felt that Liverpool were going to, go for the jugular and go for the throat, In terms of, of course, we've played Chelsea now, we've played Arsenal, we've played Leeds as well, and we've won all 3 as well. You guys, playing, I believe you've played, I think it's Fulham, West Ham, and now us, and you've got 6 points. From the opening 3 games, are you excited for the season ahead? Because I think, if you watch the likes of Manchester United, for example, and you watch the likes of Chelsea, of course, Chelsea, they have a lot of players coming in and they have, Manchester United, they're struggling at the moment to try and find players to sign at the minute. Are you happy and are you content with the squad that you have right now to, maybe push for top 4 this season?
No, I'm not. No. We still need to get midfielders. As we saw, yes, you're not being biased by saying you dominated the game. Another sad thing from that game, I felt like we gave you guys too much respect. As we always do when you go away to Stamford Bridge, Anfield, Etihad, we always like, let's keep the score down. And that is the approach and mentality I want us to change. For the squad right now, we could clearly see that day, if Aubameyang doesn't get a chance, you start to wonder who's going to score the goal. Remember the Lacazette goal that he scored, it was a mistake from Robertson, and we wouldn't have gotten any other goal. So we had to wait for Ceballos to come from the bench to create those chances for Lacazette. And other than that, we didn't create any chance. So in that game, you could clearly see we lacked in terms of attacking midfield. Ozil is in the team, but he's not in the team at the same time. We are lacking in that aspect. We got rid of the likes of Iwobi, Cazorla the last 3 years. And in terms of defensive midfield, every time someone like Wijnaldum took the ball, there was no one to run with him. Xhaka would be out of position. El Neni would try like be on the right side. So we are all over the place. So I'm not happy with the squad we have right now. We still have some average players. That's why Ateta said we can't compete with the likes of Liverpool and City. Like players like El Neni should not be starting for Arsenal. Let's be honest. It's not disrespect to him, but he should not be starting. Look at your Egyptian and look at ours. That's the difference. Like we should not be starting with El Neni in the team. Xhaka, for me, should also be coming from the bench. Bellerin was quite awful in terms of positioning that day. Should be coming from the bench. So we still need midfield. I know Liverpool's midfield, as I told you in my preview the other day. I know your midfield is not like in the quality of De Bruyne's and the Xavis and Iniestas, but they're hardworking. Wijnaldum will give you 100% through the game. Henderson will give you 100% through the game. So that is what I need from Arsenal. Let's get midfielders who can give us 100% through the game. Xhaka's, El Neni's won't do that for you. So I still think we need 2 midfielders to compete. So still 2 midfielders to compete for me. Not happy with the squad currently.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that, I think you're honest there in the fact that, you need the signings. And I think Fabrizio Romano said today that, Kolasinac is now going to be leaving to Bayern Leverkusen, I believe it was, for £13 million. When he come to Arsenal, of course, I think he was the left back of the season, for Schalke and that move just hasn't worked out for you guys. And maybe it's because it's a different league and maybe, he can't play in the Premier League, of course, but you mentioned there, 2 midfielders, I'll ask you 2 questions here. You mentioned Mesut Ozil there and, him not playing and him not being, a player, being talked about at all under Mikel Arteta. And, I believe the last game against Leicester, he didn't play that game neither in the League Cup. First of all, I want to get your thoughts about Mesut Ozil and, what's happening in that situation. And also as well, you also said 2 midfielders. Now, the 2 midfielders that's, of course, been mentioned to Arsenal are Jose Mayoa and Thomas Partey. Do you think they can happen before the window shuts? It's literally, I think, a week's time.
It's five days remaining, and Arsenal is never. You see the way Chelsea did their business. Today they're targeting Timo Werner. Tomorrow his medical is done. He's joined the team. Now Arsenal, of course, with the Stan Kroenke situation, supposedly apparently don't have money, so we have to do it the hard way. You have to sell the likes of Kolasinac to get money to fund this kind of transfers. But for the midfield, I'll say 2 midfielders. I really wish you can get both, but I think it's really hard to get both. If you can get both, then I'd even say top 3. But if you can get one, maybe Aouar would be the one, maybe 45 million because we can afford it. Another thing for your midfield and our midfield, you saw the other day we talked about Liverpool. Henderson can play today, Thiago can play tomorrow, Fabinho can play today, Wijnaldum tomorrow. For us, if Xhaka gets injured, you're now wondering who's going to play there. We literally have no one. Torreira is about to leave. El Neni is like picking from scraps. Willock is young, and we have no other midfielders. Ceballos should be further forward. So Liverpool can pick from 6 to 7 midfielders. We only have like 2. So that is a worry. So for Ozil, for me, I wanted him to go. I feel like with Ozil, it's too much drama. I know some of them are not his fault, like the back injuries and being attacked last season and stuff. But all these stories about Ozil with China, Ozil with Turkey and Germany, Ozil has done this, Ozil has done that. I feel like it's too much of a distraction. You need players who are going to be focused on the game. How many times do you hear Mane has done this in a club or Mane has done this with someone? Never. and it's showing on the pitch. He's delivering on the pitch. But for Ozil, I don't think so. So for me, I'd actually just try and pay off Ozil and just move on from him, because this story of Ozil, remember, I only think he only signed for us because he got that money. I don't think he wanted to stay at Arsenal. We were really desperate. Sanchez had left, so we just gave him the money, not because he was that good. Because Ozil will not help your way to Liverpool. That running of Wijnaldum, Alexander-Arnold, bombing forward, Robertson, Ozil will not be able to defend against that. He'll be playing with 10 men. So for me, I don't think he can bring anything right now. I'm sorry. Let's focus on the likes of Willian and Pep and just get rid of Ozil. So for me, for the first question, Ozil, I'll get rid of him. For the second one, I hope we can get both Awara and Partey, but I think we can only get one. And yes, I think we'll get at least one of them, because if we don't, we'll be in trouble. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, you use the word there, you'd want Ozil to go. And I think at the minute, in my personal opinion and my viewings of it, he's holding Arsenal hostage at the moment, in some respect. And, you mentioned there, maybe he didn't want to join Arsenal. For me, I think he was sold a dream, like what Arsenal fans were sold when, going to the Emirates out of Highbury. You constantly hear Arsenal fans on Twitter or, on their YouTube channels, talk about, we were sold a dream, we would be competing against Bayern Munich, and you're not, and it's never been that neither. Bayern Munich over the last 10 years has gone to, I believe, 3 Champions League finals. Arsenal haven't been able to get there since 2006, I believe it was, against Barcelona. So, it just shows realistically, where the two clubs are, in what, the owners, your owners anyway, have sold, to the fans, and it isn't good. And maybe they did that with Ozil as well. And now he's holding the club hostage. I mentioned this to Diesel from Claude and the Bants. Maybe if they were to pay off Ozil, maybe then they could afford the likes of Thomas Partey and Ozem Ayew, because of course wages and things like this. Because I believe he's on £350,000-400,000 per week.
Without playing. That's the kind of money the likes of De Bruyne should be paid. So you can imagine. Remember the other day I asked you on my show about how many problems do Liverpool have, and you guys said none. Now, if you ask me that same question, I'll start with that. Ozil's contract. I'll tell you have so many defensive injuries. I'll tell you have a problem with the board. I'll tell you have a problem with the owners. We have a problem in midfield. So there'll be 10 problems. So yeah, we are definitely sold a dream. When you have one problem to deal with, let's say which other team, like City, they know they have a problem defensively. They have no problem with their owners. They have no problem with their strikers and stuff. So they need to go and sort out the defense. For us, if you have 10 problems, that shows how far you are from competing for titles. So we need to start sorting. It's hard work for Arteta, but I hope he can be able to sort out, because right now, as you said, Kolasinac is going, but I actually had it trained today, so he might play tomorrow for his final game. That doesn't make me happy, because I remember the last time you guys beat us 4-0 at Anfield in 2017, and then Chamberlain left the next day to join you guys. I don't like players who are about to leave playing such crucial and tough games. I want players who are staying at Arsenal to play such games. So for me, I don't know. We have so many problems that need to be sorted out. So I hope we sort those problems to start competing, first of all. So first of all, outfield problems, we need to get that done. Ozils, all that, they all need to be sorted.
Yeah, definitely. And the only thing I can say is I understand your pain in some sense because of Liverpool in back in 2010, 11, 12. Oh, those days were the dark days for Liverpool, if I'm being perfectly honest. And at the end of the day, I think that Arsenal, for me anyway, has been a club that has the history of a big club. But if you look at it now, in the way it is managed and things like this, I wouldn't say it's a big club so much. Historically, yes, you're you're probably the third biggest English club, there. But I think right now at this moment, you're probably the 5th or 6th in terms of, management and things like this as well. But guys, please leave your comments in the comment section down below and we will get to them anyway. Liz has asked Glenn a question saying, Glenn, what do you see as Arsenal and Liverpool's biggest weaknesses?
Liverpool, as you guys said, he struggled to find any. The only thing I'd say about Liverpool your fullbacks, like they tend to attack so much, so it's always like a gap there. So if you get people like Traore at Wolves, like when Robertson is forward, that could be a weakness, like because the fullbacks attack so much. For Arsenal, as I've said, I've mentioned like 10 problems. Outfield problems, Ozil, owners don't want. The owner Kroenke has spent $5 billion in US the last 3-4 years. He has not spent a penny at Arsenal. He doesn't even, that's the problem with, I don't like when people get a club and then don't know nothing about football in general. So why not leave someone who actually supports the Premier League and supports Arsenal to like take over Arsenal and give us what we want, the fans? Why stay all the way in US, concentrate on American football and basketball, and know nothing of what is going on at your club? You guys also have owners from US, right?
Yes, we have FSG.
But I never hear anything about Liverpool's owners. I never hear anything about City's owners. It's always Newcastle's owners and Arsenal's owners. So as you've said, we're not acting like a big club. We're acting like Newcastle level. Remember back in 2006, actually 2004, when you won that invincible title, we were ahead of Chelsea, we were ahead of Liverpool, we were ahead of City, we were ahead of all those teams. Now Liverpool dropped down around to, I think you finished second around in 2-2. I think you finished second behind Arsenal in the league. I'm pretty sure of that.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, so you actually dropped down. You left us up. United dropped down, left us up. Chelsea overtook us. United tried to like Ferguson got new players, they overtook us. Liverpool sorted out all their problems all those years, overtook us. City came with no titles, overtook us. So since Arsenal won their last league title, City have overtaken us in terms of league titles numbers. Same with you now. Same with Liverpool. We've gotten another one before us again. Chelsea overtook us. We had 3 titles. Chelsea had 0. They now have 6. We still have 3. So that shows you've been stagnant for 16 years. No movements.
Yeah.
So that's a concern.
It is a concern, and well, speaking from experience, Liverpool not winning a title in 30 years. Like we know firsthand, how long it can take for a big club, and maybe it will be like that for an Arsenal. Maybe it might be 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. With the club, well, the way it's running right now, it doesn't look like things are going to be bright, in my personal opinion. But Jeannie in Liverpool is in saying, "Evening Reds, hello, how are you? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend." RK Sweetie says, how are you all doing? Watching from Dallas, Texas. Thank you for watching. I believe you're a viewer from over Glenn's channel, so thank you for tuning in to the video. Jeannie in Liverpool says, "Good. How are after yesterday show?" Yeah. Yeah. Seema says, "I think Arsenal really need to sign at least one decent midfield player." I think we covered based on that, but
not just one for me. It has to be 2, both attacking and defensive midfield. One will not be enough.
Yeah. Jeannie in Liverpool also says, "It's these again. Let's smash them, and hopefully we won't see them again." 5-0. Jeannie in Liverpool has gone for, and I can see Glenn with a little smile there, like "Oof." But Data says, "Liverpool fully deserved the win. No disrespect to Arsenal, but they were simply outclassed." Yes, I think we did, touch point on that anyway. Liz says, she's speaking to RK Sweetie. Ginny in Liverpool says, "Ozil and Rodriguez finished 5 years ago." Yeah, and of course, like James Rodriguez has done quite well at Everton, since coming in. Do you look at that transfer, Glenn, and think that, why couldn't Arsenal go for it instead of Everton?
Yeah, definitely. You have to wonder, like teams like Leeds and Everton are spending more money than Arsenal. They're looking more ambitious than Arsenal. Even the likes of West Ham over the years looking more ambitious. Okay, Rodriguez might not have been the player I would have gone for, but seeing them take players from Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Napoli, that has to be a concern. And we are trying to scrape for players from League One and Division 2 in England. So that's really it's a worry. It's a definite worry. So there's a lot to be done at Arsenal. And for the 5-0, I think it's Junior said 5-0. Okay, obviously this game, both teams always score. It's usually rare to see one team ending with 0. But I'm pretty sure you started the second team, the likes of Minamino and Jota.
Yeah.
So I think second team versus second team, it's a draw. I am actually we'll come to the prediction, but I actually think it's kind of similar, second team versus second team, yeah.
Ah, very interesting. So, Sir Klopp is in. How are you, Sir Klopp? Hope you're having a fantastic day, mate. A couple of you saying hi to you as well. Hi, Sir Klopp. Sir Klopp. Sir Klopp asks, hello, Glenn. What do you make of Nicolas Pepe as a signing for Arsenal?
Now, the first season, you always say that it takes time for these players to adapt. But although he still got like 8 goals and like 10 assists, which is a good return for the first season. But obviously for 72 million, people expect 30 goals and 30 assists the first season. Now, the thing with him, I said for the second season, I was hoping he tries and proves that he's worth 72 million, but he hasn't. I saw the other day when we played you guys, we got 2 corners in the 80th minute and he hit the first man both times. That was really annoying. Getting back, like, kind of lazy. Now starts to remind me of Ozil when it comes to like defending. Is like they're like, just give me the ball, and we lose the ball, he's kind of lazy. The thing I always tell people, Pepe is not an Arteta signing. He was an Emery signing. So seeing him on the bench, might we see him leave very soon? You never know, because he was not an Arteta signing. Same with Guendouzi, who is not playing. Same with Socrates, who is not playing. Same with Torreira, who is not playing. All those players who are signed by Emery, actually none of them is playing right now under Arteta. So 72 million, probably not. That was too much money. Maybe 50 there. He had a very good season there, like in terms of giving defenders a hard time. But I don't think he's 72 million. We have to wait and see. But right now, he's not even in the first team. But I'm sure we'll see him tomorrow. Let's see how he does tomorrow.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, guys, if you have any more questions, then please feel free to leave them in the comment section. We will ask Glenn before we do head off or anything like that. But, you know, let's move on then to the actual game then, Liverpool versus Arsenal in the League Cup. And, you know, the one piece of news that I realistically want to say before, you know, well, practically before anything else, is that Thiago Alcantara, now he will miss this game after testing positive for COVID-19. You know, we wish him, you know, a speedy recovery. Hopefully he can get well soon, and, you know, will be, you know, healthy, you know, in a couple of days' time, because, you know, yes, he will miss this game and the Aston Villa game on the weekend, and he will be back after the international break anyway. So, you know, no Thiago Alcantara. If I quickly bring it up onto your screens right now anyway. More injury news for Liverpool in that aspect of things, and that is that James Pearce, well, obviously Pep Lijnders doing his press conference today, and as you can see on screen right now anyway, you know, confirming that both, well, I say both, I say all of, I took it off the screen, my apologies. You know, Kostas Tsimikas also as well is an injury. Well, he's ruled out for the game on Thursday with a thigh problem. Jordan Henderson also out, and Joel Matip and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. So, you know, Glenn, I know that Liverpool, you know, that we are, you know, currently having injuries. Is that kind of good news in your ears? You know, that we've got the likes of, you know, Thiago out, obviously, you know, sadly due to COVID, and then, you know, Tsimikas out as well. Does that bring you a little bit of more hope to Liverpool being, you know, more vulnerable than in that aspect of things?
Quick recovery to him, by the way. Hope, no. I'm telling you, we went to Old Trafford back in 2016. They had Rashford as a 16-year-old, and we still lost. So we're never hopeful when you go to away to top 6 clubs, especially Anfield. It always seems like even if Salah doesn't play, Origi still scores. Jota scoring in his first game. Wijnaldum has scored against us in the past. All those players. So it doesn't really fill me up with confidence anyway. But yeah, knowing that you'll probably change your whole team with the likes of Adrian coming in, and it will change our whole team. Probably have the likes of Pepe who are in the second team now, and Saka in the second team. That gives me confidence. So to answer your question, no, seeing the likes of Thiago out doesn't really give me any confidence. It's just the same. Like, the thing is with you guys, the players are really well drilled. So even if Curtis Jones starts or Brewster, if he's still going to remain, you're still good. So they are well drilled. The thing is they're well drilled, every single player. So definitely not.
Yeah, defo. And I think, you mentioned Rhian Brewster there. I believe Rhian Brewster will be leaving Liverpool before the end of the window.
Yeah.
Well, apparently it's meant to be £25 million. And, well, according to reports anyway, it's going to be between Sheffield United and Crystal Palace, I believe, for his services anyway. But, I mentioned Liverpool. Well, I do mention that the fact that, our injuries, do Arsenal have any injuries coming into this game, from the weekend?
From the weekend, not really, but injuries, we have plenty. Mustafi is injured, Pablo Mari is injured, Tierney, we don't know the situation after the game. Saliba is still not part of the team yet. Hopefully, he could start this one with Gabriel, because Gabriel didn't start the other day. In terms of midfield injuries, not really. Forward, yeah, Martinelli is still out, but none that will really affect our game plan for this game. The likes of Pepe and Saka and the Nelsons of this world are still available, so none that will really affect the team we are going to put out in this game. I'm hoping to see our new goalkeeper in this game, the one we signed from France.
Yeah, because of course, Martinez, going to Aston Villa and, doing a good job there at the minute. I believe Aston Villa are the only club in the Premier League not to concede a goal yet. So he's doing a very good job there. I will say that for sure. But let me go back up on the questions, because there are a few more for you guys. Liz says, Glenn, as a mum and a football fan, I just want to hug you. You sound so sad about your team. Yes, it is a little bit of a sad thing for Arsenal. And
we need to sign players.
You look at that, I remember growing up and, we had, Stevie G and things like this, but Arsenal, you had Perez, Bergkamp, Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry, for me, being one of, if not the best Premier League players of all time. He just changed the game, in my personal opinion, anyway. But I think. Oh, go on.
The thing that gives me hope is that there's also a time that Liverpool had Gerrard, Morientes, those top class players, and the Alonsos, and then you went to the likes of, as I said the other day, the likes of Ngog, and there's this guy who's and there was also a keeper, like even the Mignoles and the Carriers, and you still moved from that, and the Ings and the Bentekes. Benteke has never scored a goal, I think, since he left you guys. So that's how bad he was. Like, I couldn't believe he got the move to Liverpool. But right now, you have ballers like the Salahs and the Manes. So that gives me hope that you can actually move from this mediocre period too. There was a time Liverpool was finishing 8th, 9th, like 7, 8 years ago. So let's hope we can replicate Klopp.
Yeah, definitely. And, you say, us finishing 8th and 7th and things like that. I remember those days, and I'm happy that they're over at the moment. So I'm very, very happy with that. But
I don't think you'll see Liverpool conceding 6 goals away to Stoke right now, like you did back in the day. Yeah, no, I don't think you'll do that right now.
I think if we was to concede 6, I think we'd score 7. I think that's how confident we are. Jeannie Liverpool says, Aouar is a baller. If Arsenal missed out on him, they will regret it. Yeah, I agree with that as well. But Sir Klopp says, what happened to Luca Torreira? I thought he was going to be the defensive midfielder to solve Arsenal's problems. So as far as I think it's Fabrizio Romano said anyway, that he's currently going to Atletico Madrid. Is that true, Glenn?
Yeah. Bro, we were hoping for a swap deal with him and Thomas Partey plus some cash. We'll obviously have to give them some cash. But for the thing that happened to Torreira, the first season, he was really good. Scored in the derby, scored twice at Anfield in the Carabao Cup and in the league. Our consolation goals both times. It's always trouble going to Anfield. It's always just a consolation goal. The first season, he did very well. But the second season, you could see that he was struggling a bit, like going against the likes of Ndidi from Leicester in midfield, the likes of Romeo at Southampton. He was struggling, like, in terms of strength, and he's too little for the midfield. He's too little. Yes, also the Emery thing affected him. There's a time Emery was playing him as a number 10, putting him out of position. Like, before he adapted back to the defensive midfield position, he was already like, no one wanted to play for Emery at that time. But the thing, as I've said earlier, he's not an Arteta signing, so. He was an Emery signing, and I don't think Arteta likes him. So for me, he's probably going to go. We have to keep on trying. We are still looking for someone to replace Vieira.
Definitely. Matthew said, if Arsenal had our party, they would win Liverpool. I guess that's against Liverpool. I would disagree with that. I think it would be closer, but I still think Liverpool have the better team. Throughout the 90 minutes anyway. But time will tell. Of course, we play Arsenal, of course, again at the Emirates, during the season. But Sumas says, is there improvement at Arsenal since Arteta come in?
Oh yeah, definitely. Just even in terms of shots and shots conceded. Before Arteta came in, we went to Watford and we conceded 35 shots away to Watford. 35 shots. We went to teams like Brighton came to our place last December and they had like 25 shots at our place and we only had like 5. Meaning every team came to Arsenal or played against Arsenal knowing we can beat these guys. So that mentality, at least when Arteta came, at least we can see these other teams now trying to defend against Arsenal, the smaller teams. Another thing, under Emery, we never used to score goals. You could see 0-0s or losing 1-0, 1-1s. Right now, at least you can see the style of play. You can see what you're trying to do. Under Emery, we had no style of play. I think it reached a time you're just telling them, just go out there and play. Right now, at least you can see we play from the back. The goal we scored against you guys, we played from the back. Although it is very scary every time we see Mane running towards Leno and is looking for someone to pass. At least right now we have a style of play. At least we are scoring goals. We are conceding less goals. At least like we are keeping clean sheets. Like from the last 10 games, I think it's like 6 clean sheets. So that's a good thing. So yeah, definitely improvement. And Arteta, players like Mustafi are playing well. Players like Xhaka are playing well. Players who are supposed to leave before he came in. So yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And Sir Klopp has asked, what is Arteta's goals for this season? For me personally, looking on the outside, it would be top 4 and another trophy, for Arsenal. Is that the same with you? Do you have that same ambition?
Of course, we want the Europa League this time round. We've been there 4 seasons and couldn't win it. But top 4 has to beat. Top 4 has to beat. The FA Cup last season, it was a surprise for him. We didn't expect to win anything last season. So for him to win, especially beat City and Chelsea, teams that were both better than us, it was a surprise. So for this season, I'd say top 4 definitely. And if you can get, you're already playing well in the Carabao Cup. If you can get a win tomorrow, then you can try and win this competition. Although I've seen City have just won their game, United have won their game. So still some tough fixtures to play. Tottenham are still there. But yeah, top Cup, not really, but at least do well in the Europa League semi-final and top 4 in the league.
Yeah, definitely. Genie Liverpool's got his team prediction year. I'll come back to that, but we will get on to team news in a little bit. Now, anyway, Liz says, do you think Arteta has the support of the owners?
No, he doesn't. The owners don't even know the last result Arsenal had. That's how bad it is. I'm sure if you ask them which team that Arsenal is playing on Thursday, they will not even tell you. That's how bad it is. They have no interest in soccer, as they call it. They have no interest in football in general, no interest in Arsenal. What he's trying to do is make it a business. That's it, not a fan or anything. So yeah, definitely not supporting him enough.
Yeah, I personally, I would hate that type of owner that just has no involvement in the club and just doesn't want to, invest in the club, because we had that with Hicks and Gillette, before FSG. Of course, we nearly went bankrupt in that, but they were just taking money out of the club and loaning money from banks and things like this just to keep everything afloat. And thankfully FSG come in and sort things out. But Matthew says, do they even read the chat? Yes, we do read the chat. We just like to break a little bit down on this channel anyway. But with that, I will ask you, Glenn, what would be your starting 11 lineup to play Liverpool tomorrow?
Formation remains the same until we buy our and Partey. So we stick with the back 5. Gabriel didn't play in the other game, so he starts this time. I want to also see Saliba playing alongside Luis, so a back 3 with those 3. And then on the left, I'd start with Saka, and then on the right, I'd put Nias there. He was kind of good against you guys. Defensively, not so much, but attacking-wise, he was giving you. There's like 3 times he got through, and he actually crossed the ball that Robertson made a mistake from. So that would be my back 5. And then in the middle, I'd start with Xhaka and Ceballos, who actually gave you problems when he came on. Didn't start the game, but he was a man of the match. Those 20 minutes he was on, so he has to start this one. And then up front, I'd go with Lacazette. Has to start this one. He has to make things right. He has to try and score this time around. So put him straight back in, let him make things right. And then on the right, Pepe, on the left, Nelson, and then the others on the bench. Aubameyang full rest, Tierney full rest, Leno full rest. And Ranason as the goalkeeper, the new guy.
Very interesting. I thought this was meant to be second team. It sounds like a very good first team.
It is actually a second team, but just because, as I said, we have no midfielders that can replace Xhaka, he has to play every single game. Lacazette, because he missed those chances, he has to start this one. Pepe was on the bench for that one. Nelson was on the bench. Gabriel didn't start that game. Saliba didn't start. So it's basically our second team. That's still 10 changes from that game.
Yeah. To be fair, you say that, and it sounds like a very good team. I know that Gabriel and others as well. They just sound very, very good. It's just that midfield, of Xhaka, and it'd be very interesting. But in terms of Liverpool, then I know that Jeannie in Liverpool said Adrian Williams. I know you're about Neco and Reece Williams, Billy the Kid, Milner, Jones, Gruwer, Shaqiri, Elliott, Origi, and Minamino. So that is a very, very close thing to what I got for the starting 11 lineup. If I quickly put it down the bottom of the screen right now, as you can see, it's hopefully scrolling across. But for Liverpool, I think it's going to be complete change, from, to the back to the start. I think that Adrian's going to start in goal. I think Neco Williams is going to come back in at right back. I think that Billy Cometio is going to, start, because he was going to start against Brentford, or whoever we played. I can't remember who we played. Played against them. Then, of course, Reece Williams as well, making his debut, doing a very good job. Kostas Tsimikas can't play, like we did say, so it will be James Milner, in my personal opinion. Midfield, Marco Grujic, Curtis Jones, and Xherdan Shaqiri. And then the front three of Thiago Jota, Takumi Minamino, and Harvey Elliott as well, is my starting 11 prediction.
I'm surprised he didn't include Jota in his lineup, the comment you just read, because I think he'll definitely start.
Yeah, well, I got him in mind because, we've seen what he did against, on the weekend inside 10 minutes. It'll be interesting to see what he can do for a good 70, 80 minutes, because I thought, and for me personally, I think, going into this season, Liverpool fans talk among ourselves when we were going, we need someone to back up the front three. We need someone to be that pressing machine, to be that extra, step up then, and to be close to the front three. And, Thiago Jota is exactly that. He has similar numbers to both Mane and Salah before they signed for Liverpool, as we saw against Arsenal, on the weekend. Pressing game is superb. So, for me, he's absolutely fantastic. But, the one player I did leave out in this starting 11 lineup was Divock Origi. For me, I think he'll come off on the bench. I don't think there's anything wrong with Divock. I personally love Divock Origi, but I just think that Jota, Minamino, and Harvey Elliott deserve to start this game. And, if Liverpool are in trouble, look at last year, 5-5 in the exact same, round of the League Cup as well. But let's dive back in then to a few of your comments then. Liz says, Matthew, yes, in between questions, he reads almost all of them. Yes, I do try to read all of them. Yay, thanks, said Matthew. So Klopp says, what Arsenal's youth players should Liverpool fans be aware of before tomorrow's match? Do you see Arsenal taking this more seriously than Liverpool?
Yeah, last season you guys fielded youngsters when you're going to play the Club World Cup. So already that centre back pairing is giving me a bit of hope, because I'm expecting Lacazette and Pepe probably to start, or even Nketiah. So I'd say the two that you need to watch, Nketiah, very good finisher, right positions. It's not like it's not world class, but is good positioning. And Nelson, of course, gave you guys a hard time both in the Community Shield and the last time he traveled to the Emirates. He scored that goal that day. So those two, I'd say. Willock, I'm not sure he'll start. I'm not sure he'll start. And of course, Saka, if he's given the space. But if you were to ask me one, I'd say Saka probably very, very good player. We are actually calling for him to come in the other day against you guys, because he can bring something better.
Yeah, definitely. And I know that Liverpool were also linked to Saka as well. So, and we did our own little research on him, and then I can see you there shaking your finger.
Yeah.
He does look a very good young talent. And to be fair, if he can be managed correctly, then I think he could be a very good player in the Premier League for sure. Genie in Liverpool says, should Arsenal go for Brewster? Your thoughts on that?
I think we really don't have a problem with kind of forward players. What we need is defenders and defensive midfielders. So we already have a group of our own youngsters, so it wouldn't look good to the likes of Nketiah and Nelson seeing another youngster being brought. So definitely not. Another thing with that starting lineup, I'd say I think one of Fabinho and Gomez will start that game, because I think Van Dijk started against Lincoln, if I'm right.
Yes, he did.
So I'm sure he'll start one like first team defender there.
I was very close to putting in Joe Gomez, but I thought, Klopp doesn't really care about the cup games. He just doesn't. That's been the thing under Jurgen Klopp, under Liverpool anyway. But it'll be interesting. I can definitely see either Fabinho or Joe Gomez being there. But I personally, I'd like to see Kometio getting more game time. I'd like to see Rhys Williams after his debut from last week anyway. But Genie says Bergkamp was a baller. Yes, he was. He was an absolute baller. Matthew's gone with Leno, Gabriel, Silva, Mauri, Turney, Saka, Pepe, Aubameyang, Partey, Aouar, and Salabas. I think that's dream starting 11 for Arsenal.
That would be a dream starting 11, but that still looks like a back 5, because that I can't see any right back there. But yeah, that would be a dream starting lineup. But again, a bit too attacking. But I would definitely love that. Definitely love that. Pepe, I'm sorry, I don't think he's in the first team as of now.
Well, it's more Willian, isn't it, at right winger for you guys?
But also he struggled very badly against you guys and also against West Ham the previous week. So the thing with Arteta, I will not start you just because you're Willian. If you play badly, you'll get dropped for the next game. There are very many players who want to come on. So, yeah.
Yeah, therefore. Genie in Liverpool says Fabrizio Romano should move to Manchester. He would love it. To be fair, that's all he's done today is report Manchester United news, because they are desperate after a player. They cannot get Jadon Sancho. So they are desperate to get some sort of player.
If they get Dembele, I'll laugh at them.
I try. The thing is, we've gone on about and we've even talked about it in this stream, about Mesut Ozil, in that whole situation. But when you look at yourselves, for example, and you look at Manchester United, and for me, growing up anyway, you two were, the two top dogs realistically that we had to catch up to, and. Now it's the other way round. Are Arsenal and Manchester United very similar? Because of course, owners not really caring about the football club. Transfer-wise, things haven't been so good over the last couple of years. Do you look at Man United and think, I'm looking into a mirror in some aspects?
Yeah, because first of all, I'm trying to replace, since they're not getting Sancho, they want to get Dembele. Also, for us, we've been linked with Jorginho, and I don't want that to happen. Not getting Aouar and then getting Jorginho, that will just be sad for the fan base. So for me, I see us in the similar position, although their owners and their director are usually on the pitch, at least. Ours have never been on the pitch, so at least their owners and some of them, I know it's like a group of people, a family, but some of them are usually on the pitch, at least watching the game, and they know a bit about football. But yeah, also, in terms of transfers, though, I don't think, because they've spent millions on Falcao, millions on Schweinsteiger, millions on many players they've signed over the years, the Di Marias, and us, we always script for the 20 million kind of players. Apart from Ozil, Sanchez, and Aubameyang, and maybe Lacazette, all the other players have been cheap options. Like Leno, even him was 20 million. So in terms of transfer, I think they will give more money than our owners will do. But in terms of similarity, dropping off and trying to become the best of the crop again, we're in a similar position.
Yeah, definitely. And, imagine if, because either way, if Manchester United do end up getting Sancho, they are going to overpay And I think they're going to overpay massively. But Mo says, well, Mo is in. How are you, Mo? Hopefully having a fantastic day. My friend saying greetings. You never walk alone. You never walk alone to you as well, Mo. Sir Klopp says hi to Mo. Matthew asks, if Arsenal don't bring any new players that are 40 million plus by the end of the transfer deadline, I will break my TV. So, yeah, the one thing I would say to you guys, if Arsenal don't bring in a 40 million plus player, just wait, because the majority of Liverpool's players have come in under 30 million pounds, and they've been fantastic. For example, Andy Robinson, Gini Wijnaldum, Jordan Henderson finally come true in that. So just if I was you, have faith in your manager, especially like what we do as well. But Liz says hi to Mo as well. Jeannie says you never walk alone. I think that was hi, saying hi to Mo.
Even if you don't get a 40 million pound player, if you get one, we still need to get another signing for depth. Yes, we brought on Pepe the other day, but you could see Liverpool, you could bring on Jota. Minamino didn't even come on. Even against West Ham, they had a stronger bench than ours. So we have so many injuries and so many players who are just not worth it. So we need to add at least 3 players for squad depth, at least in this next 5 days. Because, as I've said, in midfield, we are very short. So even if we get just Awar and Shaka, who else? We need to add into that midfield too. You guys have 8 midfielders. That still bothers me.
It's a nice thing to have, and I know that a lot of people. Well, to be fair as well, we have 8 or 9 midfielders, but Liverpool are still trying to offload a couple of midfielders. I mentioned Marco Grujic. He's one that's been constantly mentioned out of Liverpool, that, but it now looks like he's going to stay potentially and play, a part of Jurgen Klopp's midfield anyway, for this season anyway. But Liz says, if David Luiz is playing, we should wear protective gear. Yes, I think David Luiz thinks it's hockey instead of football at times.
He's too rugged. And that's also the thing with Torreira. I saw someone asking about Torreira earlier. He's too rugged. He'll go in for tackles. He's not supposed to go in for just desperation all around. We need to sign players the next 5 days. He will break his TV. I don't know what I'll do to mine. So we need to sign players.
Yeah, definitely. And you also say, I'm scared either way.
Yeah, I'm scared. I'm scared either way. Whether Minamino starts, whether Salah starts.
It's nice for me, because I'm like, anyone that Liverpool line up, people are terrified of. That's the nice thing right now with Liverpool. But Matthew says, Liverpool fans, help me storm Stan Kroenke's house together. Let's beg him to give Arsenal money. I think the Arsenal fans need to do that. I don't think Liverpool fans need to do that at the moment anyway. But Liz says, at Matthew, I feel your pain but can't support your efforts. Yeah, I think that is the case. Jeannie says, calm down, he will get our...
I think we will, yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, I think out of the two, out of Thomas Partey and our, I think our looks more likely. But we've had first-hand experience of Lyon in the transfer market, and they were horrible to deal with. I know that Nabil Fekir, a couple of seasons ago, being a talking point. And yeah, that was just a bad situation to be in, from what we've heard, from the past anyway. But Liz says, I want a whole Lotto Jota. Yeah, let's hope we get Jota, in against Arsenal anyway. But Jeannie says, Liz, me too. Diego's in. How are you? Hopefully you're having a fantastic day. My friend says, evening all. Sorry I'm late. No need to apologize, my friend. Magic is in. All right, Connor. Hello, Magic. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day, my friend. Diego says, I want Brewster at Palace. Yeah, but he could be a fantastic player at Palace. I think we've said this on occasions, especially on my end, he needs to go somewhere where A, he's going to get game time, B, he's going to be the main striker and not a part of either a partnership or, rotational. He needs to be the number one striker to be able to improve, from what he is already is at Liverpool anyway. But yeah, it will be interesting what will happen in the next couple of days. Anyway, Liz saying hi to Diego as well.
I love Brewster. He actually helped us win the Community Shield, so I like him.
Wow. I think many people actually forget about that, and it was kind of the carbon copy from what happened the previous Community Shield as well. 1-1, penalties, and we miss a penalty, and then the other team wins. It's like fantastic, just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, it's always so sad when you're the only one to miss.
Yeah, and well, the other thing as well, it's like the Community Shield's the only trophy the club hasn't won. Apart from the cups, of course, the FA Cup and the League Cup. So, I think Klopp will want to try and get that next season anyway. But Diego says, I think tomorrow Arteta will rest some players. Their next Premiership games are Sheffield United, Manchester City, Leicester City, then Manchester United away.
Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for reminding me about that. Actually, there's also Leeds away there somewhere, so it's a tough fixture, tough. And then after Leeds away, it's Everton away. So our next 5 away fixtures basically very hard ones. So we'll definitely rest some players. But the thing is, there's an international break after this weekend, so at least that's some time to get like 3 signings through the door.
So how many? So out of those fixtures that Diego mentions, how many points do you think you'll get out of those games?
I think we'll beat from those 4. I think we'll beat Sheffield United and Leicester at home. City, as I've said, the way we approach Liverpool away, City away, it's always very tough. And City will have signed players. The likes of Bernardo Silva will be back. So I'll say 0 in that. And Man U is usually a draw this day, so I'd say 7. City's a loss. So 7 or 5, because even Leicester, you never know what they're going to give. So, but for Sheffield, it should be a win. Yeah.
To be fair, they just beat Manchester City, and in all fairness, they completely destroyed them in many respects. So, but Doug is in. How are you, Doug? Hopefully, you're on a fantastic day, mate. Says evening all, stuck in work. Looking forward to speaking to you all tomorrow. Champions League draw tomorrow. Woo! Yes, the Champions League draw is tomorrow. I'm very excited to see who Liverpool get in the group stages. Anyway, we potentially might be live for that as well, for the live reaction towards the group stage draw. So if you guys would like that, then please let me know in the comment section down below.
Sorry, what is Champions League again? Sorry, I don't know what Champions League is.
I'm sorry, Arsenal haven't known that for a very long time.
It's a sad situation. It's just a competition you usually see and watch.
Yeah, it's for Arsenal fans, the Champions League is an old friend that they haven't seen in many years. But where are we? Diego says hello, Liz, and thanks. Seema says, where does Glenn think Arsenal will finish in the league this season?
Again, I wish you can ask me that question next Tuesday after the transfer window closes. But for now, I'd say 5th if we get at least one of those signings. 4th, because also depends on who United gets, depends on how Chelsea settle. It's all. You can't answer that question right now until the transfer window closes. But if we don't sign anyone else, I'd say 5th.
Interesting. Jeannie in Liverpool says, evening, Doug. You're looking forward to that for the first time in my life. I think that's concerning the Champions League draw. And Bearables is in as well. How are you? Hopefully having a fantastic day, my friend. And yeah, I know that we joke about the Champions League and things like this, but it's banter at the end of the day, guys. I know that a couple of Arsenal fans, on Twitter will just be raging at the fact looking at that draw tomorrow and not being in it. But Diego says, thanks, Jeannie in Liverpool. I think everyone is constantly on Fabrizio Romano's Twitter, waiting for a here we go Brewster on the way to Palace. You'll probably hear that from James Pierce probably first before Fabrizio Romano. Anyway,
just a question on Brewster. Do you think missing that penalty would have affected his confidence?
No. I personally think that he's got. I think that would just go completely over his head. I think at the time, of course, he'd be disappointed, things like this. But I think Brewster, he has that mentality of, like Liverpool, for example. The whole squad of, okay, it is what it is. Move on now, and we'll go again. And I just personally, I think the only reason why we're going to get rid of Brewster is because we've got so much depth up top. There's just no room for him, and I don't think Klopp wants to see him being at Melwood, week in, week out, training very, very well and not being able to play in the squad because other people are better than him. And I think that is the main reason, because the supposed rumor at the minute is we'd sell for 25 million and then we'd have a release, a buyback option, for 37 million anyway. So, I think that would be fantastic business. But as you say yourself, sign players.
We have to.
I think that's the main motto of this video. Arsenal need to sign players.
I'd even just take Brewster for the sake of it, just to have a fresh face in the team, and then we can give you Kolasinac if you want.
Unbearable says Chelsea fans seem happy they got knocked out. WTF? It's Chelsea fans. They're just more plastic than a Barbie doll. If you want to ask people anyway. But the chat has jumped. Let me quickly go back down. Where are we? There we go. Right, so Diego says Arsenal have an amazing attacking midfield. Under 18s, Marcelo Flores, his is a baller. He is better than Granit Xhaka all day long. I've never heard of Marcelo Flores. Is he a known player at Arsenal?
Not really, but okay, the likes of Balogun have been talked about more than him. But the thing is, how many young players can you have in a team? Because you have to mix, because the likes of Shaq and Luis will bring the experience. We already have Saka, Nelson, Niles, young players in the team. Even Holding is just 25. So, yes, he's better than Shaka, but you still need Shaka in that team in terms of experience. So, just like 18 is young, so he can still be improved a bit with that until and loans, a couple of loans out. So, yeah, not for now.
Yeah, definitely. Liz says Unbearable's 2020 plastic fans. Yeah, like I said, Chelsea got more plastic in them than a Barbie doll. Unbearable says Arsenal will be in the top 3. Very high praise there from Unbearable. So Klopp says Chelsea pretending they didn't take the League Cup seriously. Lampard's job more at stake than Arteta's. Abramovich would sack him for finishing second. I would agree with that, and I think that especially for the amount of money that he has spent at Chelsea this season, you'd expect him to not only challenge the likes of Liverpool and Manchester City, you'd expect him to win, an FA Cup, for example, a League Cup, even try and do the double with the amount that they have bought, spending 52 million on Timo Werner and 100 million on Havertz. So, I do think he could be one of the first managers to go this season.
Yeah, I do too. Now, the thing is, I think if you give Arteta that Chelsea squad right now, he can actually win the trophy. And I'm not even kidding. If you give him that same squad, I think he's a better manager than Lampard, and he'll like fighting for top 2 and stuff. So I'd love their attacking and all that, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of these things, isn't it? I know that, of course, we were linked with Timo Werner, and I've seen a couple of people saying, "Oh, Jota got more goals than Werner." And it's like, true, but over time, Timo Werner, he is going to be a world-class striker at Chelsea. It's just, how long is that going to take? And will Frank Lampard be manager of Chelsea? Of course. But so Klopp says Chelsea pretend. I already read that. Apologies. Unbearable says hi to Liz. How are you? Liz says. Good, sir. How are you? Then to having their own conversation. So Klopp says Arsenal have a much better youth setup than us. We're setting to protect better players against, but Arsenal have been forming new players for years now. So
youth setup, I think we have better, but your recruitment team is very good. Like getting Robertson from Hull. I was looking at that Hull team that season, and they didn't look like they had any good players. So getting him from Hull and Mane, Van Dijk from Southampton, as you said, not players that you wouldn't see a Bayern Munich want Robertson from Hull at that time, but you got some gems, and then they were trained. Those players did not come as world-class players; they were trained. So your recruitment team is better, but our youth setup is better. So let's see how we can mix that.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see what he can do over the next couple of years. But Liz says, yes, please go live. So that is with the Champions League draw. Okay, we will definitely be thinking of it then. People are after it. Being epileptic sucks, but that is for Unbearable as well. Speaking to Liz in the comment section. Are Dundalk, I think that's Dundalk, going into the Europa League? If that's the side I think it is, isn't it? Were they the side that beat Celtic?
No, not sure which team they beat, but they are going to the Europa League here. I think they won their game.
There we go then. So Klopp says, I think top four is wide open. Manchester United's transfer committee is shocking. Most of their signings end up being flops. Even Chelsea are hitting and missing, whereas Arsenal have a better success rate. Yeah, I would agree with that. Look at Aubameyang. Was it a gamble getting him? Probably, for the age and things like this. But, he's been one of the best strikers in the Premier League since joining. Probably him and Mo Salah probably have been, the top two, in my personal opinion, anyway.
Just to go back. Yeah, probably the same. Yeah, just to go back to that Kale question about Dundalk going to the Europa League, you can clearly see the Liverpool had no idea about the Europa League, and the Arsenal fan knows everything that is going on in the Europa League. So see what Stan Kroenke has done to us. Focused on small teams in the Europa League. That needs to change.
Apologies for that. Yes, I have forgotten. I've forgotten many moons ago what that has been for Liverpool anyway. But Liz says, unbearables. We all have our crosses to bear. Liz also says, Glenn's whose stream summed up by players. Yeah, I think that has been. I think that has been the sum up of this stream. To be honest with you, Matthew says Arsenal have just signed a party an hour for 92.3 million. Check Fabrizio's Twitter right
Not
now.
Arsenal. Not Arsenal. Arsenal don't do business that quickly.
They've just signed for Manchester United. Now watch that. Watch that.
Please.
What else do we have? Liz says whole stream rather. I think that was the thing earlier on. Jeannie Liverpool says, I don't like Bernardo, but I can say anymore because Liz is here. Liz says, Jeannie and Liverpool never hold back on my account. I curse yeah, I know you do, Liz. I know you do. And Kale says, I think Klopp is look at Alan St-Maximin. I think we did look at him at one point, but it just wasn't for Liverpool anyway in that deal anyway. And I don't think we need him now, especially as we've bought Jota, we're keeping old Shaqiri and things like that. So I don't think we need him. But I've only just realised we've been going for an hour and 6 minutes. How time has flown. An absolutely fantastic. And thank you to, I believe there's about 20 people watching right now. So thank you to everyone that is viewing this right now. If you could, please leave a like and also hit that subscribe button. Massively appreciate it. But Glenn, before we do head off, I will ask you this. What is your score prediction for tomorrow's game?
Here we go again. I did predict a 3-2 win last time. I don't know what I was thinking. This game has to have very many goals. And I'm going to go for Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2. It's going to be settled on penalties. This time round, Curtis Jones will not be scoring the last penalty. Saka will. So we'll win it on penalties, hopefully.
Very, very interesting. Of course, another penalty shootout towards Liverpool. Liverpool Arsenal anyway. For me, of course, I predicted 3-1. I got that right. Can I get this right as well? Probably not. Arsenal and Liverpool, I think it's like one of, if not the most goal-scoring games of all time in that aspect of things. Yeah, so for me, I'm going to go with a 4-2 Liverpool win. I think.
Wow.
If we go back and, I think it was the Champions League back in like 2006, 2007 or something around there when it was that crazy game at Anfield. And I think Liverpool ended up winning it 4-2. I can't
forget Babel scoring. That picture is still in my head. And there was also like a 6-3. The last 3 times we've played in the League Cup. Last year 5-5. 2009 there was a 2-1, and then 2007 New Year's Day around 4th there we beat you guys 6-3 like in the League Cup at Anfield. So it's always been a lot of goals.
Yeah, I remember that game, and it was a very, very bad game. That game was for us for sure. But yeah, guys, let us know your thoughts. Let us know your score prediction in the comment section before we do head off anyway. But either way, I think we can both safely say it's going to be one hell of a game. For neutral fans anyway. For us, we probably have a few hearts in our mouths situation, but it's going to be one hell of a game for neutral fans anyway. But let me quickly scroll up because there are comments. Kale says, is Haaland coming to Liverpool next year? Can safely say no. He's going to be staying at Dortmund for a very long time. Liz says, thank you, Glenn, Connor, and chat. You're very welcome, Liz. Hopefully you have a fantastic rest of your evening. When can you do an interview with Sophie? Probably when Liverpool play Manchester United, we'll try and get Sophie on the channel anyway, in that aspect of things. Unbearable's going with a 2-1 Arsenal win. Wow. Liverpool fan going for the Arsenal win.
I'd love that.
Are you saying that, Unbearables, so we don't have to play in the League Cup anymore? I got a sneaky suspicion with that. But Liz says 4-1 Liverpool anyway. Matthew's going, I can only laugh at this time. Sorry for the harsh jokes regarding Arsenal's transfer. Laughing is an Arsenal fan coping mechanism. Matthew, you don't have to apologize at all. I know what you're going through. Liverpool had it back in 2010, 2011, 2012. I know the pains and the struggles of trying to get back up to the top. And, you know, the only thing I can say realistically is just have faith in Arteta. You know, that's the only thing you can have at the minute. And hopefully you can get the players in needed for you to, you know, challenge, you know, next season maybe, or even, you know, even before next season anyway. So Klopp's going, I'm going 3-2 Liverpool, but I can picture this going to penalties. Of course, Glenn, they're saying be nice.
If you don't laugh as an Arsenal fan, you're going to cry. So just laugh for now.
Yeah,
because going to Anfield, it's never nice, man. It's never nice.
No, especially for Arsenal in recent years, like we said. You know, it hasn't been the best. But Diego says, our best wishes to Thiago. Hope he recovers well from COVID. Yeah, all of us here, you know, we hope Thiago Alcantara recovers, you know, very soon and very quick, and has successful, you know, recovery from COVID anyway. Liz says to Glenn, I'm always nice. Liz is, to be fair. And the last question of the stream, when are Man United playing us? I believe it's January time, I think it is, or December time.
January, that's very far.
It's very close. I believe Liverpool are playing Man United, I think, twice in like a month, I think. So, you know, we'll definitely have Sophie on for the channel anyway for that. But let me read the last two. Beryl says, I want to win every game, bro, but as we know, football is a strange game. I really think Arsenal will have a great season. Yeah. I'll definitely say that. Genie Liverpool says 5-0. Good night. You never walk alone.
That's it. I'm not even going to bother watching then. I'm not going to bother.
And Diego says Liverpool 1, Arsenal 2 for me. You predicted 2-0 to Arsenal last time, and look what happened. You know, I'm just saying. But yeah, of course, you know, guys, thank you to each and every single one of you that has tuned in to the match preview show. I do very much appreciate it. You know, it's been fantastic to talk for an hour and 12 minutes with you guys as well. But Glenn, you know, thank you so much for coming on. Where can we find you on the socials, mate?
Thanks for having me. Glenn Kitely. I know very many people misspell it as Knightley. I've just seen it in the comment section like twice. Glenn Kitely on Twitter, on Instagram, and my channel, Glenn Kitely, everything Arsenal. Yeah,
definitely. And I did also make that mistake. I do apologize for that. I remember we were laughing in Twitter DMs about it. But, you know, thank you so much for coming on the channel and having your, you know, opinions and that. But yeah, guys, please go and subscribe over to Glenn's channel. I do fully much.
One more thing, yeah, you can also find me in the nearest depression, whatever, getting talked to, whatever. Like after losing again tomorrow, you can get me with my therapist tomorrow. That you can also find me there with my therapist tomorrow.
You can also find me in the local Arsenal rehab centre. I think that's But yeah, thank you to everyone that has tuned in this video. If you could, please leave a like and let me know that you did like the video as well. Also as well, please feel free to leave a comment even when we do go off on the stream. You know, want to interact with as much as you as possible. And also as well, if you're new to the COD Council, then please hit that subscribe button and don't forget to enable notifications because YouTube hate notifications. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. I've been Connor from the COD Council, and we will see you all later. Good night, Red.